Hello, and welcome back to Minions and Misfits, wonderful listeners.
Hello.
Hi, everybody.
How's
it going?
We're back for another wonderful season number 3. In case you don't know us, my name is Sam, and I will be the GM, or in case of this system, their narrator.
The narrator.
Yeah. So this time in season 3, we will be playing the system that is called Babes in the Wood, which is kind of inspired by L. Frank Baum's Wizard of Oz and Over the Garden Wall, which was like a Cartoon Network miniseries that you should definitely watch. But before we dive into the story, we're going to create our characters. And so before we create our characters, we need to meet our players. So players, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourselves, starting with the two boys we know already. So start with Dillon.
Hello, my name's Dillon. He just said that. I am here. Are we talking about are we saying our character name too, or just our normal names?
We'll just say normal names, and then we'll dive into the characters.
Hi, this is Dillon's voice.
This is the voice of Cam.
And then
Who's our special guest for this season?
special guest / season regular, we have a wonderful new cast member. Introduce yourself, cast member.
Hello, I am Rebecca.
Yes,
This is
Rebecca
my
will be
voice?
joining us.
I know it'll be hard to distinguish me from the exclusively otherwise male cast.
Yeah, blends right in.
I know, I just sound a lot like all of them. But
Just blends right in.
You expand our
It's like the
diversity so
McElroys.
much because our viewers don't see us, but we kind of look like the 3 evolutions of a single Pokemon.
It's true.
Right.
We're all like white guys with short hair and beards, all with
And
like varying
varying
lengths.
lengths.
Yeah.
I only share one
So,
of
like,
those
what-
characteristics. You have to guess which one it is.
And
Dylan does have slightly darker hair than me and Sam do.
It's true.
That's
Mine's
true.
like actually black. Yeah.
Oh,
Then you would be like the what's the one between Dragonite and Dratini? You're just that random
Dragonair?
one.
Dragonair.
I guess Dragonair is pretty much like Dratini, but
Yeah,
there's some
Dragonite
there are
is
some
way different.
evolutions.
Dragonite is the weird one.
Yeah.
Dragonite's like, wait, where did this come from?
yeah. You had pretty, like, snake
Oh, no.
creature, and now there's this, like, dopey-looking bug dragon?
And then
It's-
out of
I love
home
it.
there's like
I'm not trying
Feebas,
to
which
dish
goes into Milotic, which like just there is no connection.
No relation.
None. Yeah.
Welcome to our Pokemon season.
If only.
It's like we just, on mic, randomly decide to change RPGs. Everybody is just
All
scrambling.
Team Rocket grunts
Yeah,
now.
we're all like making new sketches on our papers. Like, all right, here we go.
There actually is a season like that where
Rocket
they
would be
play as like Team Rocket members in Pokemon 5e, which is like a fan-made thing on You Meet in a Tavern. So I was actually a sponsor of that season, and I actually am a NPC in that season, which is very cool. An unnamed NPC that's mentioned in one of the finales.
That's so sweet.
Yeah. Anyway, big tangent. Let's get into character creation.
Yeah, session
Yay.
0 is usually tangents. That's okay.
I don't know.
Yeah. So the main premise, dear listener, of Babes in the Woods is that we are in fact playing young children or childlike characters, also known as babes, who get lost in some sort of mysterious forest, otherwise known as a wood. And so we have 3 characters who are lost in kind of this summery wonderland known as the Maywood. And so they'll each be playing different types of characters as dictated in the rulebook. Now, the exception is because this is Minions and Misfits, we can't play as normal types things. So none of them are, strictly speaking, children from the real world. Because in this system, you have big kids, little kids, toys, critters, and woods children. So we are eliminating the big kids and little kids, and we're sticking to critters, toys, and woods children.
Eliminating the big kids and little kids is a problematic sentence.
Oh. I don't know how to fix that one.
That's all right.
There will be no
Onwards.
child death in this season.
I don't know. We can't promise that. What do you say,
Yeah,
Sam?
I think
Doesn't
you're really
the
getting your
rulebook
head of
say
yourself.
children do not die in this game?
Yeah, well, I just said we have no children. You guys are toys and critters. They
We have
die
a
all the
witch
time.
child.
That's true.
Yeah. But that's not
That's
a
a
child.
child,
That's
right?
why I said no child death.
Well, I guess I just said, strictly
Question
speaking, we're not using children, so I guess like you're a lesser child.
Yeah, we got to adjust all of. Oh no.
That
This is
sentence
getting-
sounds like something that would be said by one of those like
Eugenicists.
one of those auto plants they found in Alabama that was using child labor. Strictly
Yeah,
speaking,
no,
we're
it's not a
not
child.
using children.
Oh no.
Technically, it's not children.
They don't count as children if they've been in the woods. Anyway,
They're eldritch
That's the
abominations.
moral of this lesson.
They don't count as children if they're employed.
rest assured, our season will be much more sweet and tender than this conversation. But this is...
Good.
Oh boy. Okay, well, let's just jump into it. Dillon, what are you playing?
My name. Well, I'll tell you what I am first. I'm a toy.
Nice.
And my toy is one of those old-timey, like, felt jack-in-the-boxes. With those little guys, they just have, like, the little arms and the little hat. and they
Like the
come
ones
around.
from Elf?
Yes.
Like, the, "Wah," you know, that
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, but they don't have the terrible cackle.
one. Please?
My name is Jake. I am a Jake in the box.
I love that.
And yeah, it'll be good. That's all I know right now. We're about to do all the rest of it. So yeah, that's who I am. A little lost toy in the woods.
All right, we have a Jake in the box. All right, Rebecca.
I am playing our woods child, so the closest thing to a child. But I don't know if a child, but Sam, did you explain what exactly a woods child is? Would you like me to?
I can, or you know what? They've heard me talk a lot, and I've just gotten in trouble so far. So why don't you?
Oh no. You're doing great, Sam. A woods child is a child who has been lost in this wood, got lost in this wood, been lost in this wood, and just kind of become a part of it. They don't really necessarily remember life outside. This is just where they're from and where they belong. And I will be playing Muffin.
Oh,
Muffin.
Should I describe what she looks like? Or yeah, go ahead. Okay.
we can hold off on that, and that one we can save it for the
I'm
story.
A little felt boy.
Cool.
So
Well, her
Felt
name will be
Boy, Woods
Muffin.
Girl. Named
Felt
Muffin.
boy, woods girl.
Felt Boy, Woods Girl. All right, Cam.
I am playing as our critter, which means I am your standard issue talking animal. I am a snapping
Is there such
turtle.
thing of a standard issue?
As far as TV tropes goes, yeah.
Yeah, fair.
I am a snapping turtle named Puddles.
The perfect name.
Puddles.
Sorry, I hadn't
That's
an
all you
issue,
get
man.
so far.
Oh man.
You don't get the voice until we start playing.
Ah.
All right, sweet. Well, we have our critter, our woods child, and our toy. So the way this game works is, unlike a game like D&D 5e, you don't use 7 dice, you just use 3. And what's cool is they're all d6s. So if you have like Monopoly or Risk lying around, you can just steal dice from those. But
Yeah,
a
basically
d6,
any board game.
yeah, pretty much. You can just use literally the simplest, cheapest dice, which is nice. And so it's a pretty simple
And you
character.
don't have to buy 12 $50 books.
It's really true. This was one $15 or $24 book. All right, so if we have all of our character sheets, which you can find in the book, then you have stats, but the stats are kind of already assigned. So let's go around real fast and just kind of read out what our stats are. Unlike in D&D, where you kind of have 6 base stats like dexterity, wisdom, and all that kind of stuff, in this you just have steam, noodle, and mush.
My
So-
favorite names for stats of all time.
For
Pretty
real.
great.
Pretty good.
And yeah, so steam is kind of your physical traits, if that makes sense. And then let me figure out this. Your mush is kind of like your maybe like emotional strength. I don't know how I would define that.
Charisma.
No, let me get
Yeah.
charisma. Let me actually get out the book and
You
define
read
that.
from the book.
It's a
Yeah.
great
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
much
mush
better.
is-
Maybe
That's
don't put this in the actual
much
episode. I
better.
apologize. Oh,
We're all about 3-stat supremacy in this on this podcast now.
It's on page 12, 10 in the book, 12 in the PDF.
It's season 3, 3 stats, 3 players, 3 sets of 3.
Numerology.
It's perfect.
Sorry, I realize, guys, as a DM, I'm failing at not being able to really quote that right off the bat.
How
You
dare
said
you
it was
not have the
10?
book memorized?
I know.
Page 10, Sam. Page 10 in the book.
Aha, yes. I was right, but I was bad at talking it. All right, so
My entire life.
I'm going to just start fresh. So in this system, instead of having things like dexterity, wisdom, or charisma, you only have 3 stats, and they're real simple, and they have really fun names. So we have steam, which is kind of your physical ability, like running, climbing, lifting, slamming, swimming. You also have your noodle, or your noggin, and that is your mental actions. So like planning, counting, evaluating, remembering, navigating. And then finally, you have your mush, and your mush are your social actions, kind of what most games might call charisma. And that is convincing, listening, consoling, and befriending. And what's cool about this system is that a significant portion of it is dedicated to like making friends with the other characters. And so that mush is really important. But that being said, what is everyone's steamed noodle and mush? Which might be a name of a restaurant I want to start.
Steamed noodle mush.
Steamed noodle and mush. Cam, what
Now,
is
where
your
do we
steam?
find
What's your
these
noodle?
assigned
And
stats?
what's your mush? It's actually on your character sheet, located next to your character type. So if it says toy, it says, and it'll be either 0, +1, +2, or -1. And if it's not marked,
that's why.
it's
Okay.
0.
Yeah, so as a critter, I have +1 noodle and 0 on steam and mush.
Perfect. Rebecca.
Well, my character sheet didn't come with numbers already on it.
You have +1 to any, and -1 to any, and 0 to any.
Oh. +1 to any, -1 to any, 0 to any.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I missed
Is
something. Let me.
that? It's hard to see. It's not really intuitive, but it's right there.
Oh, are you pointing
your
to it
character
there?
sheet look like
Oh, got a
this?
tab over.
Sorry.
That's real blurry. But it does generally look like that.
All right. Well, in which case, feel free to assign +1 to any, and -1 to any, and 0 to any. Want me to let you think about that one, and I'll go to Dillon?
Yeah.
All right. Sweet.
Yeah, I've got
Sorry about that.
+1 mush. And I've got -1 to any. And I think I'm going to put that -1 to any in Steam because I am just a little jack-in-the-box.
Yeah, really moving a foot exerts a lot
Really
of
hard.
calories.
Yeah.
It's hard to get much leverage when your torso is made out of a spring.
Yeah, it makes it real difficult.
I feel like, but by the end of it, your character will have really ripped abs, because just like it's constant ab workout.
Yeah. Gotta have good core strength.
All right, Rebecca, my apologies. What would you like your steam noodle and mush to be?
I think this girl is gonna have a 0 in steam, a -1 in noodle. That's not her thing. But a +1 in mush.
I really want my waiters from now on to come up and ask me, "Do you want steam noodle or mush?" I feel like
How much noodle?
how much noodle, how much
Like
steam, how
diner
much-
talk.
All right, and then dear listener,
Like the steamed noodle mush, please.
So, dear listener, in this game, most of the kind of rolls will be made with 2d6s. And you have certain abilities and certain moves that are kind of set in front of you that you can already use. And Steam Noodle and Mush will be added to your result. So if you're trying to attempt something that requires noodle, your noodle is -1, then you would take away 1 from your result. And then what's cool about this is if you look at the actual book, which for the record was written and by Adam Vass and illustrated by Kim Nugent, highly recommended, by the way. The different moves tell you kind of what your success or failure looks like, and there's kind of more we can add on to that. But the reason I bring that up is because each one of you get to choose out special moves for your character on each character sheet, it gives you one of three options. Well, it gives you three options, and you are to pick one, I should say. So, Dillon, what are the three options you have, and then which one did you pick?
Yeah, so as a toy, I have three options. One is sense intention. So whenever someone lies or attempts to manipulate you, I can see the true intent in their heart. So that's pretty wild.
Are you saying that people cannot toy with your emotions?
Oh, no, I'm not saying that.
Oh.
There's admire craft. When you examine something constructed, you can describe what you're looking for and roll and notice different qualities about the item and be able to use it for different things.
Ooh.
And then there's come apart at the seams, which is when you detach a part of your toy, you'll roll plus steam. And then you can become like a special item with like the part of you that you removed.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's wild.
And you
I
are
I went with sense intention.
Sweet.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Rebecca, is that on your character sheet?
The special moves? Yes.
Yes. Perfect.
I'm just now realizing, I really didn't do my homework, but I've picked which one I want. It just involves adding noodle, so I might rearrange things if that's okay with you.
Absolutely. You work on that. I'll come back to you.
I do know which one I want, though, if you want me to go ahead and share it.
Yes, do it.
I'm going to go with... Never mind. I might want the other thing. Go to Cam.
Cut.
Cameron.
My choices were play possum. When you attempt to hide your sentience in order to be perceived as a mundane animal, roll plus noodle. Or perk up. When your heightened senses make you aware of something non-critters can't perceive, tell the narrator what you sense and roll plus noodle. Or commune with nature. When you attempt to gain intel or assistance from a forest animal, roll plus noodle. I chose play possum because Puddles is a turtle who does not want to be in the spotlight. He mostly just wants to be left alone.
I love it. Does he have sad eyes like a typical 1920s Disney cartoon turtle?
Yeah, he does look a bit like Cecil Turtle from Looney Tunes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
All right, Rebecca.
I'm ready this time. My special move is Reach Out. When you need to find someone in the wood to assist in your journey or with a task, roll plus noodle.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so I rearranged my stats. Steam is going to stay 0, while noodle will be +1, and moosh, -1.
Perfect. So on this character sheet, it gives you various stats like harm, which is kind of a similar equivalent to damage, but in this game, death is not really on the table. Harm is more...
There will be no children dying. Okay, good.
Well, I don't know. Maybe. You
According
gotta have
to
the risk
most
there.
you can be as incapacitated.
It's like
Yeah.
Pokemon.
Yeah. You might become a tree or something.
Oh my.
Anyway, you don't start with any harm, which I'm sure you'll all be glad to hear. But you do start with items. And so, yeah. And so the game itself comes with a few base items that you get to choose from, including your outfit. However, it is all Halloween themed. And because it's summer and this is our third season and I love the summer, I instead made a different list that you can roll 2d6s and find out which one you would be. I mean, I'll just tell you. But yeah, so roll 2d6s and that will determine your outfit and your item.
Ooh.
Do you want the total or do you want 2 individual rolls?
Total. So like the minimum would be 2, the max would be 12. So let's start with Rebecca.
Oh boy. 2d6.
Roll 'em.
That's an 8, 2 4s.
Oh.
Ooh.
What I get.
All right, Rebecca. Muffin is wearing a hiking outfit,
Ooh.
and her special item is a flashlight.
Ooh.
Handy.
Fantastic. All right, Cameron.
Well, so as a critter, my character sheet says I do not start with a special item.
Oh, that's true. Do you still want an
and
outfit?
my outfit is presumably just a shell. Maybe I could roll and see if I have some sort of hat.
You get
Yeah.
suspenders. Please have suspenders.
How would he wear them?
I got a 9.
Got a 9? Yes! You're a turtle who is wearing a Hawaiian shirt.
Yes.
Yes.
Amazing.
Nailed it.
I love this so much. All right, Dylan.
Let me just go ahead and write that down.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Very important detail.
I got an 7.
You got a 7. So you that's really similar to what Rebecca got. So maybe roll
I'll
again.
re-roll.
Yeah.
I like how we
I
all managed to
got-
roll within one of each other.
I got a
We're so
2.
in sync, you guys.
You got a 2? Oh, I love this. You're wearing an old-fashioned bathing suit. It's like a one piece that's striped. And you're
Where on my Jack in the Box self is this?
I guess you're wearing
Most
the
Jack in
upper
the
part of
Boxes
a
are wearing
bathing
a
suit.
clown. Yeah, where most Jack in the Boxes are wearing a clown outfit.
Yeah.
A Jake in the Box
I
is
just have
wearing
like red
a
and white striped.
an old timey striped bathing suit.
And your item is a parasol. So there's that.
Ooh,
That's good. I like that.
that is so fun.
What does the parasol let me do?
So all of your items, your special items, you have 3 uses for them. And so every time you use them, you check off one of the uses, and on the third one, it is considered broken.
Is that what the candy corn is? Is the 3 segments?
Yeah, you see how on this page, all the candy has different significance. And so your friends, you can also label as the people you're playing with. So if you're either Muffin or Jake in the Box or Puddles, you want to mark that as your fellow players. And then fear is something that you kind of accumulate over the game, and then everyone starts out with a wish. So a wish is kind of like inspiration in Dungeons and Dragons.
No. A wish is a dream your heart makes.
When you're fast asleep.
Maybe, but we'd get sued.
Fair
A
use.
wish is something that you do when you have no other good options. Is that really insidious? Maybe.
That's pretty dark.
This is our light and frothy season. What are you talking about?
I don't know, man.
So you can
Good
take an
lesson.
action in which you roll for a wish, and after rolling a move, you may spend a wish to change the result of your roll to a result of your choosing. So let's say you failed. You can choose to have your character make a wish and succeed. But according to this, it has to be your action, not the action of somebody else. The next thing you'll need in character creation are your hopes and your fears. So in this game, your hopes are your aspirations. What are your major goals? They might be major, they may be minor, but your character discovers things that will help them get closer to their goal throughout their trip through the Maywood. And so in this book, you can either roll for hopes, or you can even just make up your own. So if you guys want to roll for those, let's start with Dillon. Do you want to roll, or do you have one
Roll.
in mind? Alrighty. Well, I have
I
it
am
pulled up
but
here.
a toy.
Ooh, okay. So you need to roll 2d6s. Can you roll the first one for me?
Yes, the first one is a 4.
Okay, sweet. Roll the second one.
The second one is also a 4.
Oh, that's perfect. Your hope is to protect your friends.
Oh.
Oh, which is really sweet. All right, Rebecca, do you have any hopes?
I do. Could I keep it secret for now?
Yes. Ooh, mysterious.
Spooky.
All right, Cameron, your hopes. Would you like to roll, or do you have one in mind?
I'm gonna roll for mine.
Do it.
We love
All right,
rolling.
roll a d6 for me.
Whoa! I dropped it. 4,
Alrighty, roll another one for me.
2.
2. Your hope is to make a best friend.
Oh.
I know, aren't they cute? Now for fears. All right, so for your fears, this game has such a wonderful bouncing back and forth of adorable and terrifying.
Very much like Over the Garden Wall.
Yeah.
For real. So Dylan, do you want to roll your fear?
Yeah, I got a 3 for my first one.
All right, 3. What's your second one?
1.
All right, your fear is dying alone. No, it's not actually that.
Just like real life.
I would love for the fears to just be like, you're afraid of moving back in with your parents. You're afraid,
You're
of
afraid of
losing
the
your new
existential dread
full-time
of being
job.
by yourself. Yeah. You're afraid
No,
of being
your
alone
fear-
with your own thoughts.
Your fear, in reality, based off this book, is snakes.
That tracks.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Snakes. Why it gotta be snakes?
Puddles is afraid of being audited.
Puddles is afraid the IRS will find out he hasn't paid taxes in 20 years.
You'll never catch me. And he starts moving in slow motion.
Yeah.
Iris just throws handcuffs on top of him, and he goes,
They just pick him up by the shell.
His little feet keep going.
All right, Cam. Roll 2d6s. What's the first one? What's the second one?
We got a 5
Mm-hmm.
and a 3.
Your fear is birds of prey.
That tracks.
That's fair.
You really
Is
weren't a
what?
fan of that Margot Robbie movie.
Hey, that one was underrated.
You know what? I agree. No, you're afraid of like hawks, birds with pointy beaks and large talons.
He heard at some
Vultures.
point that they will pick up turtles and then drop them from great heights.
Yeah,
Oh,
that they will. Break
Well,
that,
that being
beautiful shell
said-
open to get to the juicy
Have a
goodness
nice
inside.
turtle soup.
Rebecca, do
Oh.
you want to roll for your fear, or do you have one in mind?
Quick clarification. Is Puddles
Yes.
a turtle or a tortoise?
Ooh, important.
He's a snapping turtle.
Perfect.
Okay.
So that's like
Incredible.
in terms of height, that's like shin height.
Well,
What?
most of the time I think he walks around on all fours.
On a
so-
on a child or on a like?
Snapping turtles can be huge.
Oh, can
Those
they?
are big boys.
Yeah, not a,
I grew up in Boston,
Like your
guys. Come on,
your
cut me some
typical-
slack.
yeah. Because this takes place in the south by a river. He's a snapping turtle.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely a snapping turtle.
But is he kind of like cartoon turtle size as opposed
like
to
yay
small
big.
alligator size?
In between.
Well, so it's not an alligator snapping turtle. Those don't live in the well. I don't know if they live in the
I
United
think
States
they're
or
in
not. Hold
Louisiana.
on. He's a
We're talking like yay big.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, probably about his shell's probably about as big around as
Like shoulder width of a person.
Like a football. or
yeah.
Okay, so he's fairly
Like a
big.
bigger
large
than a
dining.
He's a big
plate?
boy.
No, bigger than that.
Like
I guess imagine the body of an acoustic guitar, like a
Okay.
regular sized
Yeah,
acoustic
yeah, yeah.
guitar.
Now, are we
Okay,
talking?
so big boy.
I'm gonna try to name off some brands, but I can't think of any.
Ibanez.
We talking
What were we thinking?
Gibson,
Yamaha, or
That's
Fender.
pianos.
I know pianos. All right. Well,
I think
so
Yamaha makes an acoustic guitar.
I think Yamaha makes everything.
I wouldn't be surprised.
They make motorcycles too,
you
so
seen that-
like they make all sorts of stuff.
Have you seen
All
that?
kinds of things that make
that
noise.
tweet? Have you seen that tweet that's like, okay, so Yamaha, I need a motorcycle. Okay. And now I need a piano. You're not going to believe this.
all right, Rebecca, you are the last. Do you want to roll for fear, or do you have one in mind, or is it a secret?
I have 2 in mind, but I'd
Mm.
also like to keep a secret. Can I just like
You can
maybe
tell
like
us one and then keep the other one secret.
one is fire?
Fire scary. Wait, aren't you a witch child? Don't you need fire to like eat?
Oh, but like, you have fire. It's being scared of fire that's out of control, right? Someone
that's
who's
fair,
scared of
yeah.
fire doesn't go, fireplace. They go,
She's
"Oh, there's
scared
a
of the fire."
wildfire?
I don't know how much. It's not a phobia. It's just like a fear of
Yeah.
like getting burned. Okay.
Yeah. So that's not your fear, or is your fear, and you also have another one?
I have another one that I think is the bigger fear that I'd
Mm.
like to keep.
Mm.
Or actually, I
So
think I can
fire
share
is
the other
really
one.
the decoy fear.
It's the decoy fear. I'll share
The
the other
little
one
death.
too. And y'all can help me decide which should be the fear. The other is being alone.
Oh, that's the fear.
Yeah, that's definitely the fear.
That's the fear.
Definitely has a lot more emotional potential in this.
Good news. You have 2 friends built into this campaign.
Oh.
But Sam didn't promise there wouldn't be death.
Oh no, we could all die except for you, and then you'd be left.
Fear
alone.
is only the
In
little
a
death in a
fire.
metaphorical sense. It's the mind killer, not the
Alright.
body killer.
Wow.
So Jake,
the next
you want to
season.
protect friends,
Dune.
and Puddles, you want to make a best friend,
Mm-hmm.
and then Rebecca, yours is a secret. Jake, what is your fear? Is snakes, and Puddles' fear is Birds of Prey, the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Margot Robbie specifically.
It was.
Yeah.
Birds of Prey was all right.
It was aight. It wasn't actively bad like everyone said it was.
You know what? I agree, guys. I agree. Margot Robbie's casting as Harley Quinn is one of the best.
A+. Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Once
I
they
hope
gave
bring her back again.
Once they gave Suicide Squad to James Gunn, everything was just fine.
And now that they're giving all of DC to James Gunn, we're like, good.
A good decision.
And then loneliness is Muffin's fear. And so as the game progresses, your stats in all of these will build up. When your
terrifying.
I know. When your fear builds up, that inhibits some of your abilities later on with different moves. Plus, there's moves that I, as the narrator, can make that are affected by your fear.
So
Now, when it
fear
comes
is
to
the little death.
those words, and then with hope, once you build up hope in this game, you can't lose it. And so there are 5 pips that can be built.
That's not like real life at all.
Oh. Once you fill in your 5 pips, your character then is given the option to return home. And we'll come to that. We'll describe that in more detail when we get to it. But essentially, in some way, shape, or form, every main character has a goal of getting home. Or maybe your goal is to stay in the wood. That's really up to you. But once you've kind of reached your hope, that's another way of saying your character arc, at least in that area of your life, is completed. And so just be keeping that in mind. Yeah. And then there was one other thing. So you are playing 3 different children. So, well, children.
One child.
Childlike beings. You're playing 3 different childlike beings, including a woods child, critter, and toy. And so you are going to have in this adventure each other to be your friends. And so on your character sheet, you will see that there are places to write in your friend's name. And there's also 3 pips beneath each person's name. You can fill those out at your leisure. There are points where you actually get to build it up by confiding, by telling secrets. And the more you do that, the more you're able to do with certain moves. I know that you can work together as a team and do moves that you would not be able to do apart from each other. So feel free to write in each other's names for that.
Like the Forest Avengers.
Mm-hmm. Exactly that.
So what are we, some kind of forest suicide squad?
Please
I don't know what that
playing
word
as
means.
Childlike beings. Well, with that being said,
This
think
is my friend Puddles. I would highly recommend not being bitten by him.
His bite is severe and damaging.
So that being said, we're almost done with character creation. So mark off that you all have 1 wish. And then you'll notice there's also a small peppermint that represents experience points. Y'all have none of those. But you accumulate them throughout the whole game. And you are not allowed to accumulate over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them.
6.
You must spend it by the time you get to 7. And you'll get multiples, and there are cute, fun ways to get more experience points throughout the game.
Are our XP spending all the same across the different sheets, or is that per?
I believe it is the same.
Class?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that covers all the main sections, and then now we'll get into the character questions. We get to know all about you, the characters. Man, I really sound like an evil GM, don't I?
Yeah.
Kind of sounded like Stewie from Family Guy.
Stop it, Batman. That's not who I am. I'm a good GM. All right, so you each have questions that kind of help define your character. Would this be something that spoils it? Probably.
I don't know. You decide.
Yeah, this would spoil it. So let's cut off this section.
Okay. No sections.
Ooh, sorry. A little bit of hiccups on this session 0, and for that I apologize.
Session 0 is nothing but hiccups. What are you talking about?
That's why it's session
thank you.
0.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that being said, then you each have your characters ready to be emerged into the Maywood. And so, just a few details about the Maywood in and of itself. It is kind of a summer-themed wonderland. So when you're kind of picturing everything is soaked in a... Yes, a lot of watermelon. and dragonflies and mosquitoes
Ugh.
and
I thought this was
yeah.
a wonderland.
Yeah, I thought you said, why are there mosquitoes in the Wonderland?
I just want
it's
fireflies.
summer. There's always mosquitoes in summer.
Not in the Wonderland.
Nah. It's also the Maywood is kind of a it's more of a stream, if you will, in that there is a large lake that runs through the center of the Maywood, and that's really the primary way that you would want to travel around, because while the lake is within the river, I should say, is within the Maywood, it's called the May Stream. There's also a kind of magical and eerie kind of dark forest that encapsulates the Maywood. That it's kind of known that you don't want to wander through the blighted forest. It's rather frowned upon, actually. That being said, there are all sorts of wonderful, magical little stops that, even though your characters may have been in the Maywood for some time, you still may not know all that the Maywood contains. And so, in this adventure, you will go through some of the hollows in the Maywood and hopefully avoid the evil antagonist that is referred to as the Rot.
Oh, the Rot.
Ooh,
very
that's a good
ominous.
name.
Sounds bad.
Yeah.
Well, that being said, are there any other questions or things we can cover, or shall we dive in?
Do any of our
I've-
characters have a prior knowledge of each other?
You know, that's a great question. I will say for Dillon, your character has none.
None. I am but a
None.
lost Jack in the Box.
You are but a lost Jack in the Box, but Muffins and Puddles, if you would like, you can have some sort of working relationship. Perhaps your siblings. No, that's probably
No.
illogical.
No, not me.
No.
No, Puddles was never a human, so no, that wouldn't
Oh.
make any
Ah,
sense.
spoilers.
Oh, I was being absurd because it's like the one thing you guys couldn't be because you're both different species.
That's racist.
No, but it does make sense that they would be like pals.
That's fair.
Yeah, yeah.
Muffin being the sort of high energy, always ready to go on an adventure one, and Puddles being the sort of foil to that.
Yeah. Muffin's
Sweet.
always ready to help him find that snack he wanted, but just couldn't
I do
get around
think we
to
should
getting.
go over sort of how the game works mechanically. We
Yeah,
haven't
moves
quite
and
touched
such.
on it.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
It's what you would. It falls under the category of a what's called a powered by the apocalypse game.
Yeah.
In that, if we don't play it right, the world will end.
Haha.
Oh.
Yeah, fun fact. No, it's of course.
Well,
a-
I better
a
learn the
system.
rules better then.
I know, me too. But yeah, in this game, very much like most RPGs, you can choose to make, different moves that are impacted by your Steam, Noodle, or Mush. But primarily, the basic moves you'll be taking are listed in the book itself, amongst which are Take a Gander, which is kind of something like Perception Check in D&D, Cause Mischief, which is kind of like a skullduggery check, if any of you played games with skullduggery, kind of like lying or causing any sort of general mischief. There's also Scoot Away, which is the kind of ability to escape. Console, which is where you make another kid feel safe and heard.
No.
Oh, yeah, nice and cute. There's also Brace Yourself when you see incoming harm. Yeah, there's a lot of twists and turns. There's also Talk It Out, which I love that's a move. Like, hold up, let's make a Talk It Out move. Like, it's just, yeah, it's just kind of, when you hesitate out of anxiety, anger, or another emotional reason, voice your concerns and roll plus mush. And that's just beautiful.
Very nice.
Oh, it gets sweeter. Then there's Make a Friend, when you can attempt to make friends
That's
with
a
one of
move
the.
I can make?
Yeah, I
My
know.
childhood has changed.
If I ever have a kid and they go to like kindergarten, I want to teach them the move Make a Friend, and just like I want them to walk up to another child and just be like, "Make a friend."
It's like
Yeah.
it's like a Pokemon move.
Squirtle, use
Child
Make a
used
Friend.
Make a friend.
Hey, there's Helping Hand. And when you make a friend, you are attempting to, guess what? Make a friend with one of the NPCs, which in this game are referred to as the folk. So that's nice. There's also Team Up.
The singular?
Yeah, like the folk. Well, it's interesting, right?
the
Because there's
folks.
folks and then there's the folk. I
Yeah.
feel like one person is called like a folk, then like two or three are
One
folks,
person's a fella.
and oh, that's
Like the
right. There's fella,
townsfolk.
folks, and then like a very broad term is folk. All right.
Yeah,
I feel
yeah.
another thing we should point out is that this system, like a lot of other Powered by the Apocalypse games, has degrees of success instead of just a straight pass or fail
Yeah.
system.
Very wise. And so, because you're rolling 2d6s, you may get obviously a lot of different results. Generally speaking, on a 6 or below is a failure. On a 7 to 9 is kind of a mixed success, and on a 10 plus, it's kind of a best case scenario.
Full
And
success.
yeah, what's nice is if you can pull up these pages to your players, these pages which are in on page 14 through 17, it gives you the list of basic moves, and it also gives you kind of the different results that you can be looking for. And so on a extreme success, you generally get to choose several good results instead of just one that you'd get from a mixed success. Anything else y'all can think of?
I
Any other
don't
world building we need?
think so.
World building, we will be heavily improvising a whole lot of this. I will say, to plug another game, while Babes in the Woods, which again is by Adam Vass and illustrated by Kim Nugent, while that does have its own world built into the book itself, I created our own world, the Maywood, by using The Quiet Year, which is a game that was made by. Let me pull it out.
I've been wanting to get that forever.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good. It's made, designed and written by Avery Alder, and the illustrations are by Ariel Norris, and it was published by Buried Without Ceremony. And it's a great kind of world building
It's a map building game, essentially. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I have the map, and none of you will get the map.
No.
But I want the map.
Well, the map will do you very little good in the Maywood, because as Babes in the Wood explains, essentially the way the wood functions as a trope is that it takes you where you need to go. You can't quite navigate it, which is one of the big eerie things about traversing the river. While it's not necessarily deadly, you don't know where it'll take you. Ooh, scary.
I'm excited.
Yes. So we'll dive into this misty, humid, lush green world of the Maywood. And you, dear listener, will hear from us next week. See you then.
Bitten by a mosquito.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.
See ya next time.